Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I have a speed build for you from a starter home that I made in Brindleton Bay using only base game and cats and dogs. One of my favourite packs. I love having pets in my game and it's got a really cute style to it. It's sort of like farmhousey. I didn't quite go for that vibe this time, but I did think it turned out really nicely. I really enjoyed it. I pretty much set down the floor plan from the start, so the shell and everything came together so quickly. This video hasn't really been cut down. I haven't cut anything out. I put down the pretty much three boxes, including that diagonal, and I knew what I wanted. Same with the outside. I was thinking of going for a bit of a log cabin because the lot that we chose is in a woodland area. It's kind of set back and it's secluded, but I only wanted to use those two packs, or rather one extra pack, which was cats and dogs, and the swatches for the outside didn't really lend themselves to a log cabin, so I went for the panelling, and the left hand bump out kind of was perfect for adding a little bit of extra texture, so it wasn't just that one wall colour. And I think it worked quite nicely. I really like the swatches of the cats and dogs. The windows are also lovely. We got so many different options that you can see there. And that really helped because it meant I didn't have to use the same window the entire way around, but it also kept with the same colour scheme. I'm sure if any of you are builders, it is the most annoying thing where you want two different types of windows, but the browns don't go together or the swatches don't match and it just looks messy. So keeping it with just that one pack or just base game really helped. I was doing this off stream and I don't usually build off stream, but I just had, I think last week where I just built and built and built and I got loads of houses out. I decided that after I did the White House build, which is another video on my channel, I went through it and I took a look round because that took forever. It was an absolutely massive build. As you can imagine, building the White House is no easy feat. And after that, I'd done so many big builds that I told myself I was going to do starter homes. So this is a starter home. If you don't know what that means, it's when you place a sim down in a lot, they get a certain amount of money. So they start off with 20,000 simoleons, and then for every extra sim you have in that whole household, it adds 2,000. So the actual base lot of a 30 by 20 lot costs 2,000 simoleons. So we had 18,000 to work with, which meant that it would be okay for just a one sim household. I did actually make this in mind of two husbands and a dog, so I could have used a lot more money than I actually ended up, but the finished cost of it was 17,971 simoleons. So if you've got one sim, they can live here absolutely fine. You wouldn't start off with much money, you'd start off with about less than 30 simoleons. You can make money quickly, there's collectibles to find, you've got a dog and things. If you put a dog in, you've got a lot more money than that. I think it's about 2k that you start with, so that makes it much easier. But that is a starter home, so you don't have much to work with. It means that you've got a completely different style of build that can't have the clutter in it. We didn't even really get many curtains in this build. I had to really save money at the end. I was sort of going for it a lot. I really like how the kitchen looks at this stage. We do get the utensils and things in, but I had to strip all of that out, change it all because we didn't have enough money. Same with the TV. I don't think I ended up changing that TV. I would have saved a hell of a lot of money if I'd gone for a box one rather than this like small flat screen TV. So that was probably a regret because there were other features that I wanted to add at the end. And because the bathroom is on a diagonal, you can't go for half tiles and it makes it look so much larger. So it is a 2x3 tiled room, but not in the same size as it would have been because a diagonal wall is longer than a regular wall. So that made the bathroom look massive. And for a starter home, that's kind of not ideal because it makes everything look so much more sparse and empty than it would have done if it had been on a straight section. But I think it turned out quite nicely. To be honest, this isn't too small of a starter home. It's all open plan, which means you save a lot of money on walls. And I kind of knew that it had to be a bungalow because if you build upwards, it already costs so much more, but also while I was building on a diagonal, because you can't have stairs on a diagonal, it would have made one of the rooms look super weird. So that's why it is a bungalow, and it kind of fits in with the surroundings. And I think as well, just having a dog and one bedroom and things. So I quite like the way it turned out. I kept the whole colour scheme quite similar throughout the entire build, and I really want to branch out from this brown look. I find that it's my go-to when furnishing. That's some fault of, I think, the items that I own, because I have got a lot of those farm style packs like Seasons, Cats and Dogs. Base game is quite brown as well. If you look at all of the door swatches that we get, it's sort of white, maybe 3 types of brown, a grey and a black. And there's not much variation in that, so this dark brown door that we've got is kind of the only sort of swatch you can go with. Same with some of the cheaper kitchens, they aren't that colourful. But I just find building with colour so difficult, because you can't get all of the swatches to match. If you want to go for an orange or something, you've then got 5 different oranges for different items, and it just looks bad. And I don't think that I'm a particularly colourful person. If you were to see my bedroom, it's all different shades of grey and beige and a tiny hint of like a mint green, and that's about it. So I really struggle with that, but it kind of fitted for this, considering the outside was that sort of cream colour. It did work, and I do like how it kind of is uniform throughout the whole build. So probably for this build it wasn't the right time to use colour, but it is something I really want to work on in my next builds. Starter homes specifically, if you want them to do well on the gallery, they need to have vegetation. They need to look fun from the outside, because that is the first thumbnail that people see, and that's usually what they go off, whether they want to download it or favourite it. So I think that would be my tip. If you want anything to do well on the gallery, then your landscaping is the most important part. The fact that this is then a 17,000 simoleon build makes it all that more appealing, and the fact that it has just used one other pack, so it's kind of accessible for anyone that wants that style of a starter home in Brindleton Bay, because they don't need to have anything else installed. Getting to the outside, I'd kind of started to really worry about money. You can see that we've got 59 simoleons at this rate, and we had the entire outside to furnish, which isn't an issue because I just went into this debug menu, which, if you don't know, it is a different type of catalogue that you can get to through using cheats, and within that is all the items that you would find through gameplay, through just in the world that you can't edit or aren't in the catalogue. So all of these different plants that you see and rocks that you see around the lot that aren't actually in the normal catalogue, there's a whole load, and it's all landscape for free. So I pulled as much of that as I could out. I wanted to make it look like it was in a forest. So we've got lots of pine trees and masses of vegetation. Like, it hasn't been really kept up, so it's sort of the forest is coming in, because it was a kind of lot that was already in that scenario and in that setting. So I think it worked quite nicely. And then I went mad. I pulled out everything that I could. Just makes it look more lived in and a lot more expensive than it actually is. It's definitely a cheat. Some of you might say that it's not a starter home because I have done this, and I don't know, I think it looks good. I really enjoyed doing it. It didn't take me too long, and that was probably just because I wasn't doing 5 other things at the same time, because I wasn't streaming it. But I just really loved the fact that I wanted to play the game. Over the last few months I've just been playing on stream, but I wanted to make starter homes, so I decided that I was going to do one in each of the worlds and hopefully try to keep them all under 18,000. I didn't quite manage that, but they are all some form of starter home. I've still got some more to do, and those videos will be coming, but I just really loved how this looked at night, and this is the finished product, and I think it turned out not too bad. So if you liked this video, please do comment down below and give this video a like, and consider subscribing to my channel for more videos. And I will see you all next time.